Wow, it's great to be here. I come to you from a far away land, the world of the data analyst. This is a world that I know and love. As a data analyst, I deeply understand the businesses that I work at. I understand how to observe their performance and diagnose their problems using data. I write a lot of SQL and a little Python. I brainstorm in dashboards, and sometimes I even make a spreadsheet or two. I'm not very opinionated about my tooling. It's all about getting the job done. But over the past 6 years, I've become very opinionated about my workflow. Let me take a minute to tell you that story. 6 years ago, data analysts created a ton of one-off artifacts. SQL queries that got saved on a laptop, spreadsheets that were fragile and broke, and dashboards that became out of date as schemas changed. This didn't really feel like anyone's fault. It was just the way that things had always been. But I hated this. I really hated this. It meant that data analysts just weren't as effective as I knew that they could be. I had worked in software companies for a long time, and I understood how software engineers created leverage. They wrote modular, tested, scalable code. They checked it into source control. They deployed it with CI/CD pipelines. And they treated it like an asset, not like some waste product. They also built cultural norms around the stewardship of this code. They practiced Agile and DevOps and SRE. The result is that software engineers operate with leverage. Experienced software engineers are some of the best paid professionals in the world. And it's all because of this set of tools, norms, and practices. I felt left out. I wanted to work like this as a data analyst. So, back in 2016, my co-founder Drew and I built this little open source tool called dbt. Our goal was to help people like me author and deploy modular code inside of cloud-native data platforms. At the outset, really, truly, nobody cared. I wrote this big manifesto back in 2016 about how analysts' work needed to change, and it was received with crickets. It's not that anyone disagreed. It's just that this entire train of thought was like completely foreign to the analytics ecosystem back then. But slowly, a small community of like-minded folks came together. By the end of 2016, there were a whole 100 of us. And year after year, new practitioners got exposed to the power of bringing software engineering practices into analytics. They got excited about how this could impact their work and their careers. Today, there are over 30,000 of us in the dbt community. And there are over 12,000 companies using dbt in production. Somehow, something happened. An entire ecosystem turned onto the idea that their work could be done differently. Early in this journey, we realized that we needed a name for this thing that we were doing. It wasn't data analysis, but it also wasn't really data engineering, or at least it wasn't data engineering done the way that data engineers had traditionally thought about it. The community settled on the term analytics engineering. Here's the definition that Claire Carroll uses in her 2019 article. Analytics engineers provide clean data sets to end users, modeling data in a way that empowers them to answer their own questions. Empowers them to answer their own questions. I think of analytics engineers like librarians. A librarian's job is to make sure that knowledge is well organized, that folks with questions can find answers. What we realized was that this hybrid persona, the analytics engineer, was the missing link on the modern data team, and the entire industry is waking up to that. As of today, there are over 500,000 analytics engineers in the world. up from basically none in 2018. Here's how we see the most high-functioning data teams working today. Data engineers are responsible for building and maintaining scalable systems, and they also are responsible for landing data in the lakehouse. Analytics engineers are responsible for taking that source data and transforming it into usable data sets. Data analysts are responsible for insight generation. But really, this is an oversimplification. Anyone who works in data knows that these lines are never this clear. These roles overlap with each other all the time. The real secret to a high-functioning data team is making sure that team members with all kinds of skills and backgrounds can collaborate together, which is why DBT was designed from the ground up to feel comfortable for the data analyst while scaling to meet the needs of data engineers. It's the one tool that all data practitioners can collaborate in to build their knowledge graphs. Before wrapping, there's one more thought that I want to explore with you. The world that I've been talking about so far is a world of counts and sums and standard deviations. It's descriptive. It asks what already happened. But that's only half of what this conference is about. One of the biggest problems, and Ali alluded to this, in data today, I think, is the lack of collaboration between my world, analytics, and the world of AI and ML. I'm excited to be here with you because I think these worlds are converging. Ali kind of stole my thunder. I think that, honestly, I think Databricks is doing a ton of great work to make this happen. With the launch of Delta, whether you're looking for the ACID compliance of a warehouse or the unstructured qualities of a lake, you got the best of both worlds. With the launch of Databricks SQL, you now have a high-performance, managed way for your data analysts and your analytics engineers to access all the data in your lakehouse. So, Databricks, thank you for inviting me and data analysts like me to the cool kids party. At DBT Labs, we are also pushing to unify the worlds of analytics and ML. This year, we're making huge investments in supporting Python-based data science workloads inside of DBT. Thank you. I'm excited too. I'm not quite ready to show a demo, but we are innovating in the open, and we'd love your input. Ultimately, analytics and machine learning are just two methods of problem solving. We believe that all data practitioners should be able to use consistent tooling throughout this entire spectrum. We're excited to partner with the entire Databricks ecosystem to bring this to reality. Thank you so much.